Hi, and welcome to episode 28 of the Noble Character Crafts podcast. My name is Amy, and I am coming to you from eastern Nebraska, where I live on a farm with my husband and our 5 children. This is a podcast all about my life as a knitter, a crocheter, and a hand dyer of yarn. Today is Friday, June 1st, 2018. Thank you so much for joining me. A huge welcome to any new or returning viewers. I really appreciate you joining me today. You can find me online on Instagram and Etsy at Noble Character Crafts. You can find me on Ravelry at Noble Character. And I also have a group for this podcast on Ravelry under Noble Character Crafts Podcast. In that group, you'll be able to find show notes for this episode and previous episodes, as well as several other chatter threads. You can also get in contact with me through my email, which is noblecharactercrafts@yahoo.com. I am currently hosting a knit-along, which is called the Brioche knit-along, and that is for any project that you would like to try that has brioche in it. It can be for the entire project is brioche or just a small section of it. It can be for 1 or 2 color brioche. Anything that has brioche in it is acceptable. And this is running until July 31st, so there's still plenty of time to join in on this knit-along, and I would really love to have you join us. I have a chatter thread and a finished object thread in the Ravelry group, so you can be sure to join us over there if you would like. I would love to have you. Last time I recorded a podcast, I announced that I was going to have a giveaway for a sock pattern, which is this beautiful cottage garden socks pattern by Hannah Woodhead, who is also known as Yarnia Designs on Ravelry, and she has the Tales from Yarnia podcast that you should definitely check out if you have not. And I just absolutely love this beautiful lacy pattern. And I had a thread in the Ravelry group to sign up to enter to win this beautiful pattern, and the winner is Asteride, who is Patricia. So congratulations, Patricia. In the in the thread, I asked the question of what is your favorite garden plant, and Patricia answered that she loves her hibiscus and jasmine. So it was so much fun to read through the different plants that you all love, and there was even a suggestion of different ideas that I could use in my garden, so I really appreciate that because I am definitely not one that loves to garden. I do the best I can, but I'm not great at it. Anyway, I am so thankful, Hannah, for your generous donation. I really appreciate you being willing to donate this beautiful pattern. So thank you so much again. And again, congratulations, Patricia. You don't have to do a thing. I will get in contact with Hannah and have her send over the pattern to you. So look for that in your Ravelry inbox. And congratulations again. Thank you to everyone who entered. I really appreciate you entering in that giveaway. By the way, I did mention last time I recorded a podcast that I had some flowers that I needed to plant in our flower beds, and I was able to get all of those planted, and they haven't died yet. So we're doing good so far. In this, we have had such terrible, stifling heat already this spring. And so that will be the challenge, is to keep them watered in this heat. Our kids have been doing a great job of helping me out with that. That's been fun for them, but hopefully it will continue to be fun for them to water the flowers in the morning. And we will hopefully be able to stay on top of that so that they continue to thrive in this heat. So anyway, we're doing good so far. We'll see how long the flowers last. No guarantees by any means. So today I have a finished object. I am so excited that I was able to finish my Sweet Sadie socks. This is a beautiful pattern by Alyssa Greenlaw, who is also known as Something from String on Instagram. And I absolutely loved working on this pattern. It is so beautiful, and it was such a joy to work on. And they didn't take too terribly long since they are shorties, and I think they'll be really useful for summertime. So hopefully I will be able to get a lot of use out of them. Last time I recorded a podcast, I was right here where this beautiful stitch marker from Amanda of Little Bitty Delights is marking. So this was only the first of the 2 socks, and that's where I was. So I was able to finish it and do the next one. And I am so excited that I have these completed. I used my own hand-dyed yarn on my pitter patter base, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, in my spring rain colorway. And I used, for the picot edge, which is so beautiful, I love it so much, I used a size 0 needle, 2mm. And then for the remainder of the sock, I used a US size 1, 2.25mm. I got 36 stitches to 4 inches for my gauge. So I'm really happy with them. I'm really happy with the fit of them. I love the Eye of Partridge heel. It's my favorite. And this beautiful lace pattern is just so lovely. Has a rounded toe. I followed the pattern exactly. I did 14 repeats of the lace pattern. So anyway, I'm just really pleased with these. Yeah, I just think they're great, and I highly, highly recommend this pattern if you want to give shorty socks a try. This was my first pair of shorty socks that I have made, and I really think I will get a lot of use out of them. So yeah, super excited to have these done. These sock blockers, by the way, are from, well, when I first bought them, I thought that they were called Chappies something or other, but I went to look on it on eBay this morning to double check what that was called, and it was under a different name, which is actually what is printed on the sock blocker. So I guess that makes sense. But anyway, I think I have maybe missaid before where I got these from. Anyway, now I'll tell you I found these on eBay today, and they are under Perfectly Catchy Designs, and they have tons of different options for the cutouts. So there are lots and lots of options of customized, or different animals, and there's like states and I don't know, different designs that you can choose from for these sock blockers. So I highly recommend them as well. All right, so on to works in progress. My first work in progress is in my beautiful Tanny Casey bag, and it is adorned with these most precious enamel pins from the beautiful ladies at Nice and Knit. They gifted me these along with their square that they sent for the collaboration afghan. So anyway, I absolutely love this bag as well, and in here is my brioche project for the Brioche knit along. And I have been absolutely loving working on this project so much. I am kind of tangled a bit here. It's getting almost too big for this bag, really. It's quite stuffed in there. Okay, I am making the Brioche Ponchology, which is a pattern by Suzanne Summer, also known as Sosu Knits on Instagram. And I am using lots of scrap yarn that I wanted to use up from previous projects. So I am super happy about that. This beautiful progress keeper here from Amy of Dandelion and Dogwood is marking where I was last time I recorded. So I've been able to get a lot of work done on this, and I'm so pleased with it. I am using all of my own hand-dyed yarn. Again, just scraps of previous projects primarily. I did use a few new skeins as well, or I'm going to. I've used one new skein, and I'm going to use a few more, I think, just because I didn't have quite enough scraps available for this pattern because it takes quite a bit of yardage. It is worsted weight. I am using both of my worsted weight bases, which are, I have a Lenora base, which is 100% superwash merino, and my Caring base, which is 100% non-superwash merino. So I'm using both of those sporadically through this project. So the different colorways I have used so far, the main background color here is this deep purple, and it is my Wisdom colorway, and I'm actually done with it now. I've used up an entire 100-gram skein of the Wisdom and have moved on to a new color. So I am currently, for the background color, using this solid, which was a one of a kind, but I have been able to recreate, and it is now in my shop. This is my Victory colorway. So it's this beautiful solid indigo color. And here is a skein of it, just so you all can see it a little bit more easily in the skein. When I tried to take pictures of it, it was super hard to capture it, the actual color, because it wanted to show up more blue than purple. And even here, it's a little bit more blue than it is in real life, but it's a really pretty good representation. I really, really love this shade of indigo, so I hope you all like it as well. And then on the foreground, the colors I've used so far are Cool Spirit up here. Then I moved on to the Joy colorway. And I also already used up my Sings colorway scrap that I had. That's what this is my Sings colorway. And I've just started using my Friend colorway. This is also a full skein. So this will be my first full skein on the foreground, but obviously as I'm getting bigger and bigger with the poncho, you know, it'll probably, hopefully the distribution of the different colors will be pretty even, but I really don't care if it's a larger section. I want this to be, you know, scrappy, and I think it'll be beautiful no matter how, you know, how the colors play out. I think they're all gonna look really neat together, so I'm excited for that. I was going to use a different colorway for, I showed you when I first started this project, or when I was first planning for it, I think I showed all of the different colorways I was going to use, and I decided to use my Friend colorway instead of my solid Ponders colorway I think I was going to use, which is just a solid light purple. But I thought it would be nice to have the foreground always have speckles in it, so it would be more cohesive instead of moving into a solid purple. I thought it would be good to continue with speckled yarn, and I think I will continue with solid yarn on the background color so that there's a bit of cohesiveness. That's my plan right now. We'll see how my yarn management works out, because you know, I have a few other skeins that I may need to use, but I'm not sure if I'll need to use them, and we'll just see how it works out. But right now, I'm absolutely loving it. This is such a fun project. I love working brioche in the round, like on a fixed circular, instead of having to do magic loop. I was having to do magic loop up at the top, and I kept making mistakes, and now that I'm working in the round, it is just so easy to pick up and put down whenever, you know, if I get in. With this project, I don't have to worry about getting interrupted in the middle of a row, because it's so easy to pick back up and know right where I'm at. It's easy to read it, and I am able to get my yarn in the right place when I'm switching colors so that I don't have any mistakes. So when I started this project, I was having some mistakes up here at the top, but now that I've been working in the round, I don't think I've had any mistakes. And this is the backside where I change, you know, from the foreground to the background color, and I haven't had any problems with the yarn being in the wrong place for the brioche. So anyway, I'm absolutely loving it. I am not following the exact instructions for the colors, because in the actual pattern, you're only supposed to use 4 different yarns, I think. I'm pretty sure 4 different yarn colors. 1 background color, I think, maybe. I don't really remember, because I'm not following it at all. Yeah, it calls for 4 colors of worsted weight yarn, and I'm using lots. So I'm just using up the yarn, and as soon as I finish one color, then I use a Russian join, I think it's called a Russian join, to join my 2 different yarns together, and that helps me not to have ends to weave in, and it's working beautifully. So and a lot of times in the pattern, there's only 1 color brioche and 2 color brioche at other times, but I am doing all 2 color brioche. So I'm not following the instructions for the different colors or when to switch colors. I'm just doing it as my scraps run out, then I change colors. Anyway, absolutely loving this. It's very unseasonable right now, and I really want to put it on a larger cable so that I can try it on, but I'm really happy with it, and I can tell that it's gonna fit. It'll be fine, but I'm really anxious to see what it will be like on. So anyway, super, super happy with this project, and Brioche is just getting easier and easier as I practice, and I'm so happy about that. So anyway, I'm very excited to continue to work on that project. Oh, I'm using size 8 needles, which are 5mm, and I haven't counted my gauge for this project. I don't know, is it easy? Do you even get a gauge with Brioche? Isn't that, I would think that'd be a little hard. I don't know, she has it on here, but I haven't counted it. So anyway, I'm just using what the needle was, what recommended needle there was with the pattern. I'm using the recommended needle size. Anyway, I only have one more work in progress, and it is also stuffed in a project bag, another project bag from Tanny Casey. I love her bags so much. They're such great quality. And they're nice and large, but this project has grown a lot. And it is already too big. So this is my Bly cardigan, which is a pattern by Amy Christoffers. And this is admittedly quite an experiment for me. So I am making the Bly cardigan using 100% cotton yarn. I'm using all just inexpensive cotton that you would typically use to make dishcloths. And so I know that this is kind of crazy to do this, to make a garment out of dishcloth yarn. And it might be a complete disaster in the end, but I'm really loving it. I'm loving working on it, and hopefully it will work out. Somebody, when I posted it on Instagram, somebody said, isn't that going to be really heavy and kind of bulky for a summer thing? But I don't know, I'm almost kind of thinking of it like a big towel that you would, like when you get out of the pool and and you're cold and you want to wrap up in a towel. Well, I'm kind of thinking that it's kind of the same idea, because I'm making it oversized and it's got some fun summery colors in it. So anyway, I'm hoping it will work out. I'm hoping I'll like it and get some use out of it, but it might be a complete flop and I'll end up donating it. I don't know. Anyway, the Bly cardigan pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry, again by Amy Christoffers, and it is worked in from the top down raglan. There are raglan increases, and yeah, it's all in one piece. So when I recorded a podcast last time, I had only swatched for this, so I have made a lot of progress on this. So the top color is salt and pepper, and I had a huge cone of this yarn, and I still have some left over because I want to use it for the edging of all of this, and I still have another sleeve to do. But anyway, okay, so I started with that color, and now I have started working into these stripes. So I'm using up, like I said, tons of different colors of yarn that, again, this is a stash buster. I'm using up lots of scraps from different projects that I have had, and I just want to try to use up a lot of my extra yarn. So I'm not going to go through all these colorways because I don't even know what they are, but they are all the same brand. They're all peaches and cream, and I got them from Walmart. So they are easy to find here in the States, at least. So I am, like I said, really enjoying this project, and I'm really hopeful that it will be a good end result. I did start one sleeve just because I wanted to make sure I was going to have enough of the salt and pepper color before I started the stripes. So I was kind of measuring out or weighing out the yarn that I had used so that I could have an idea of how much I would have left, and I think I'll have plenty. I'm hopeful that I'll have plenty. I am going to, so right now I'm working on this light pink stripe. I'm going to make them all the same width, which is, I'm doing 6 rows of each colored stripe. And I am going to do at least, once I finish this pink one, I'm going to do at least 2 more colored stripes. I might do 4 more depending on, again, yarn management and how much yarn I have of the other colors. But And I'm planning to copy the stripes on the sleeves as well, so that will match. I want it to be oversized and pretty long to go past my rear end. And I am using size 5 needles. By the way, I'm using ChowGoo needles. All of my needles are ChowGoo. That's all I use. And these are 3.75 millimeter. Now for gauge, I had a really, really hard time getting gauge. And I had really hard time getting gauge with I've had 2 previous projects that I have worked with cotton or linen, or actually both of those projects were cotton linen blend yarns. And I had a lot of problems with my gauge being way too loose, which is unusual for me. And so I am wondering if maybe cotton or plant-based materials just tend to be a little bit more loose in gauge, because I had such a hard time getting gauge with this, and I did not get gauge. My gauge is 17 stitches to 4 inches, and the pattern calls for you to have a tighter gauge of 20 stitches for 4 inches. I did get gauge of 28 rows for 4 inches for the height, but as far as the width, I did not. And I kept going down. I went down all the way to a US 3, which is a 3.25 millimeter. But then my width had not hardly changed at all. It was still about 17. But then the height gauge was less. I forget what it was now when I went down to a 3.25 millimeter. But anyway, so I decided to go with this gauge because it matched at least one of the gauge requirements, and I wanted it to be oversized, so I was getting a looser gauge, and I thought, well, then it will be oversized for sure. And it is. It's actually probably too oversized. I'll try it on for you to be able to see a little bit anyway. The sleeves are comfortable. They're a good fit actually, but the width is really big, so I can like totally wrap it around, and it's pretty loose. But it's okay. I think, I don't know. I really don't know how much use I'm going to get out of this. Like I said, it's a complete experiment, and whatever. I'm just going to do a real narrow band all the way around the edge because I don't need any more width here. And I know that cotton stretches, and so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to make it too terribly long because I think it will stretch lengthwise from what I understand of how cotton works. So I don't want to make it too terribly long so that it doesn't get overstretched and, you know, get way too long. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I am again joining a couple of summer knit-alongs that different podcasters are hosting that this fits within. So I think that this will definitely fit within the, I keep messing up this hashtag, and I'm so sorry. I think at least once or twice I have put the wrong hashtag down for this knit-along, but I'm going to get it right this time. It's the LBK Summer Fibers Cal. And that is with Selma of the Little Big Knits podcast. And she is hosting a knit-along for any project that you would like to do using plant-based fibers. At least 45%, I think, of plant-based fibers need to be in your yarn to qualify for that knit-along. And then also, I think that I can also enter this into the summer garment mal that Joanna of Stitching the High Notes is hosting, because even though it's going to be long sleeves, it's out of cotton, and I am planning to have this be a summer garment for cooler nights, or like I said, getting out of the pool or something like that. So anyway, I think I can enter into both of those knit-alongs as well. I have received a few more squares for the 2018 collaboration Afghan. That is a project that I am organizing along with 48 indie dyers. I have asked them to send me a 7-inch square that they either knit or crochet using one of their colorways. Once the Afghan is pieced together, then I will be sending that off to Lisa of Indie Untangled, and it will be on display at the Indie Untangled Trunk Show in October. And there will be an opportunity for attendees of the trunk show to win the afghan. So it's a super exciting project, and it is so much fun for me as the organizer to see all of the different squares come in, and I'm so excited to start piecing this afghan together once I receive, I think I'm waiting on 6 more squares, so hopefully I will receive those last few squares soon and can start working to piece the project together. But I wanted to show you 2 more squares that I received. The first one is from Whitney of Songbirdie. She is a fairly new indie dyer, and I have been friends with her on Instagram for quite a while, and it is so special that she gets to be a part of this collaboration afghan, because last year when I organized the first collaboration afghan, she was supposed to be a part of it, but something came up and she was not able to be a part of the finished project. So I am so excited that she started to dye yarn so that she can be a part of this year's collaboration afghan, and she sent this gorgeous square. And this is on her Angel Aura colorway. Here is her business card. And she just is such a talented lady. I am so completely impressed with her colorways. She is doing an awesome job. So go check her out if you haven't yet. Thank you so much, Whitney. I'm so glad to have you be a part of this project. And the other square that I received is from Emily of the Yarn Brewery, and she is also one of the co-hosts of the Meanwhile at the Castle podcast. And she sent this beautiful square. That colorway is so stunning. This is on her Eat Me, Drink Me colorway, which is from her her Adventures in Wonderland collection. And here's her card. And she sent this most adorable little mini along. So thank you so much, Emily. I'm so glad to have you be a part of this project as well. And man, that's stunning, isn't it? Those colors are so beautiful. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much to everybody that is participating. And I will continue to keep you all updated as I continue to receive squares. So stay tuned as I get them and start working on the afghan. All right, every time I podcast, I try to show a set of 3, usually, a set of 3 skeins that are from my Etsy shop. I sell hand-dyed yarn and at my Etsy shop, and I tried to show a set of yarn that could work to make a shawl. This week I'm going to show you a shawl set, a new shawl set that I have just listed in my shop. And I'm so excited about it. I've been having this set laid out on my table back here behind me, where I kind of organize my business stuff. Anyway, I've just been googly eyes over it. I've just been so excited about this shawl set, and I hope you all are too. Ta-da! I love it. I'm so excited about this. I am just so happy with this rainbow shawl set that's so hard to hold up. This set is my Remember shawl set, and this is the first time that I have gotten inspiration for a name from a different book of the Bible. All of my other colorways are from a proverb in the Bible, which is also where my business name comes from. But this set is named Remember from Genesis, when it talks about the rainbow and how God will remember his covenant to not flood the earth again. So that's where the inspiration and the name for this shawl set comes from. There's only 1 new colorway in this set, so I will go through the different colorways and one at a time so that you can get a better idea. So the first one is my Scarlet colorway. That's showing up really, really well today. The color is a good representation there. I was having such a hard time when photographing all 7 of these colors, because the green and the teal were like fighting against each other. I don't know, I would try to get one, like I would edit the photo to get the green the right color, and then the teal would be off. So I kind of had to do it in between, you know, I had to do like a happy medium so that they would both be as close as I could get when they were all together. Anyway, this one is called Bold as a Lion. The next one is my honeycomb colorway. The next one is my new colorway for this set, and this is called Dew on the Grass, and I love it. I am so happy with this colorway. It actually was different than what I was expecting when I was trying to dye it, but I love how it turned out. So that is actually showing up really well. That was one of the ones I was having such a hard time photographing accurately, but that looks pretty good actually. The next one is my Refreshes colorway. And again, that one looks pretty good too. Well, I don't know why I had so many problems before, but the next one is my Deep Waters colorway. And the last one of the rainbow is my Gaze colorway, which I love. Isn't that one? I love that color. Okay, anyway, I am just so happy with these, and really it's been really fun for me to play around with like different combos from this set. You know, if you didn't want to use the whole set for one project, there's, you know, some good combos just using a few of them and kind of playing around with different combos. It's just, with all these solids, it's so much fun to, you have lots of different options. So anyway, somebody did ask me if I would be offering mini sets, and this one would be pretty appropriate for a mini set, but I'm not at this time. I may in the future, and I'll be sure to let you all know, but at this time I am only offering full skeins of my yarn. But you do get a discount when you order one of the sets because I lower the price per skein, so that's something to consider if you are interested at all. And as always, all of my sets, except for my Daylight Fading shawl kit, but all of my other sets and single skeins of yarn are available on all 9 of my bases. So I have four different fingering weight bases. I have a sport weight base, I have a DK weight base, and I have 2 worsted weight bases. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing one. Oh, maybe I have 5 fingering weight. I have Pitter Patter, Twinkle Toes, Radiant, Gentle, and Solace. I have 5 fingering weight bases. So anyway, there's lots of options for you all, and so all of my sets and individual skeins are available on all 9 of my sets, all 9 of my bases at any time in my Etsy shop at noblecharactercrafts.etsy.com. So I would absolutely love it if you would like to check out my shop and support my little business. I appreciate every single sale so very much. And yeah, it just makes my day whenever I get a sale. So thank you so much. We have been doing great. Like I mentioned, the weather has been super, super hot already, and it's definitely summer weather already. But we've been enjoying it. We have a family pass for the public pool, so we went for the first time yesterday. My daughter and I went together. I'm trying to, my goal is to teach my oldest kids how to swim this summer. We have done swimming lessons for the last 2 or 3 years, but I haven't seen a ton of progress with my kids in their swimming lessons, and it gets really expensive with 5 children. So I decided that I am just going to be more intentional with taking 1 or 2 children at a time and teaching them myself. And so I'm hopeful that I will be successful with that, and it you know, is a lot less expensive to do it that way, and then I get to be the one that teaches them, which is fun. I love swimming, and so I am happy to do that and hopeful that we will be able to take the time to really teach them, and hopefully they will be successful in learning how to swim. So anyway, that's one of my big goals for this summer. My husband is a farmer, and he farms corn and beans around our area here, and he was able to get all of his crops planted, which is such a wonderful blessing to have that completely done. And now it's just completely in the Lord's hands to get the crops to grow and be watered and not get hailed on. So we just it's just such a relief when we get our part done. And well, my husband does his part, I should say. I don't do anything except help him get around from one field to the next sometimes. But anyway, I'm so glad that everything is in the ground and things are growing already very nicely. So it's a huge relief to have that done. Other than that, we have continued with her schoolwork. We are just doing really well, trying to stay cool as much as possible, and hydrated. It's been really hot. It got up to 100 already on Saturday. We went to a graduation party, and on the way there, at least our car thermometer read 100 degrees. So it's pretty incredible for May to already have that, but now we're into June, of course. But anyway, it's been super hot, I think, in quite a few areas of the world, and for spring weather, And anyway, I don't love it. I don't love the heat. It's my least favorite, but I do love swimming, like I said, so it's nice that we can go to the pool whenever we want to. Other than that, we've been doing great. Everybody's been well and happy, and I am so thankful for you joining me today. I hope that you all are well, and I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead. If you enjoyed this podcast, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And you can also subscribe to this channel if you would like. I would appreciate that very much as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.